even if seperti a lot of companies, including Flash Coffee gitu kan, we are a very inclusive type of management, type of hiring. Jadi terbuka untuk pria dan wanita untuk semua posisi gitu. And I think a lot of companies are like that as well. But at the end of the day, it's not about quota. At the end of the day, it's about quality.
Yes, benar.
Gitu.
Hai, welcome back di MTF lagi. Hai semua, ketemu lagi sama
Samira dan Alia.
Yes, nah kita
Hari ini, how are you feeling?
I'm good. Kayaknya nih hujan mulu, gue kayaknya ini ya mulai
Yeah.
antara karena gini ya, kalau mau sakit itu antara kena COVID atau emang gak enak badan doang.
Hopefully
I'm
not
not trying to
because
scare
I'm like
you.
right next to you. So hopefully you're fine. But yeah, I'm excited today because we have like a guest speaker again, an inspiring woman, and so happy L'Oreal gets to sponsor our
podcast.
Yes.
Terus senang banget nih bisa kolaborasi sama brand yang visinya sama banget sama Stellar, which is women empowerment.
Yes.
Makanya ini podcast kita tuh selalu menghadirkan guest speaker perempuan-perempuan perkasa dan very inspiring,
strong women, independent women.
Leader dan yang berani untuk speak up.
Yes. And dare to be different.
Dare to be different. Nah, ini hari ini kita kedatangan ya tipe perempuan seperti itu. Kayaknya dari tadi ngobrol kelihatan this is a very brave woman yang ya berani ngomong dan berani apa ya? Ini kalau ngeliat dengar pengalamannya aja juga udah luas banget juga. Nah, ini nggak sabar kita mau ngobrol sama Grace Surya. Hai Grace.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure, Alia, Samira. How are you guys?
We're doing well and really wanting to hear your story. Karena kayak right before we chatted about your background, about your experiences, quite diverse. Quite diverse.
That's a good way to put
Yeah.
it.
Diverse ya. Awalnya aja tadi apa? Gimana daripada kita yang ceritain,
Iya,
coba
iya.
deh Grace ceritain pengalamannya apa aja sih nih?
Okay, so I went a long way back. Jadi gue dulu awalnya itu sebenarnya background gue adalah sekolahnya Fakultas Hukum. So I was a lawyer.
Oh wow, malah oh my god.
Like melenceng gitu kan dari Fakultas Hukum. I did have some lawyer experiences cuma setahunan gitu, but I realized that was not my world gitu. Jadi gue langsung banting setir. Jadi penyiar dulu di Kiss FM waktu itu, udah zaman bahla lah ya. So having been in the media for a few years, gue pindah ke MNC juga. Kemudian I started to go into the agency side, masih di marketing and communications, masuk salah satu agency. Kemudian I went to client side. Client side itu, gue boleh sebut brand gak sih?
Boleh.
Boleh ya?
Boleh.
Bekas kantor, bukan?
Soalnya nanti mereka masuk ke sini.
Mereka jadi sponsor
Amin.
kita.
Amin.
Amin. Kita kan emang punya jutaan follower juga.
Yoi.
Jutaan pendengar.
Yoi. Terus di client side gue mulai di Quicksilver, kemudian gue masuk ke Coca-Cola, kemudian gue masuk ke Tourism New Zealand, Uber, Grab, kemudian sempat di Home Credit. Kemudian kita ada project taking care of presidential campaign. Kemudian baru gue masuk ke Flash Coffee.
Oke.
Gitu.
Nah, area of expertise-nya apa nih kalau bisa dibilang?
Yeah, the love of my life is about marketing.
Okay.
Basically, so I love every aspect of marketing. Gue mulai dari bawah guys. Jadi kan gue mulai kayak gue bilang ya, gue dari siaran. When you work in a radio station, you gotta do everything. Like gak cuma siaran, lo bikin skrip, lo produksi juga dan lain sebagainya, event dan lain sebagainya. So the love of my life is marketing, dari mulai content production, dari mulai marketing communication, kemudian gue masuk ke digital marketing, analytics, brand tentunya, dan especially brand strategy. Karena menurut gue dari semua sisi marketing, brand strategy itu penting banget, actually to give a soul to your brand gitu.
Ya, oke.
Kalau dari based on my experiences and what I believe in taking care of brands adalah brand is supposed to be a human being gitu. Jadi memang dia sebuah atau seorang target persona yang punya identity, kemudian ada personality, the way they talk, karakter dan lain sebagainya. So it's actually a person. Dan itu menarik banget untuk kita bentuk gitu. So yeah, brand strategy is one of my favorites.
I mean, I love that analogy because it is true. Like when we talk about our brand, Tinkerlust, we say, oh, she's anak kita, and she's in her teenage years.
Yeah.
She's being rebellious right now. You know what I mean? She's taking risks. Tapi kayak betul, like we go and brand stories evolve based on, you know, the market sentiment, the macroeconomics, right? We have to communicate to our audiences in different ways juga.
Betul.
And you've represented many brands juga kan?
Yeah.
So like how have you created different personas? What's the start? Where's the start?
Where's the start?
Yeah, like
Untuk create a brand persona gitu.
Okay. So kalau kita mau bicara how to create a brand persona, basically kita akan come up first we'll start with a market behavior research. Ini gue jadi ngomong teknikal nih.
Gak apa-apa. Kita juga perlu belajar soalnya.
Ya biasanya kita mulai dari market behavior research. Tentunya kan kita sudah punya si brand identity-nya yang kita create kan. So dari market behavior research, kemudian kita masuk ke brand perception research. Say market behavior-nya seperti apa sih kalau untuk orang-orang yang di kategori yang kita mau gitu kan. Biasa yang kita cari adalah dari mulai you know their turn-ons, their turn-offs, kemudian aspirations, interests, affinity. Of course di luar sih demografi kan it's so standard.
Right.
Nah dari situ kemudian kita cocokkan dengan brand perception. Brand perception kita saat ini ada di mana, orang mikir kita kayak apa sih brand kita? Are we known? Are we not known? What are we known as? Gitu. Udah sejalan belum sama apa yang kita pengen orang tahu kita tuh siapa gitu. Nah dari situ kita baru bisa come up dengan sebuah target persona. So this target persona is actually a person yang we wanna speak with. Jadi kalau di marketing we believe ketika kita berbicara ke semua orang, meaning we're actually not speaking to anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So we gotta
This is amazing.
Iya.
I just like got schooled.
Ini makanya nih kita ketemu sama ini ya guest star kita tuh we always learn something. Hopefully nih MT Evers juga semua kayak begitu. So yes, go deep, go technical.
Yeah.
But okay. But I want to just bring up. Sometimes brands, yes, they want to communicate with their audience, but there's so many other brands that are competing for the attention of their audience.
Dengan marketnya sama juga.
Dengan
gitu.
marketnya sama. Jadinya we have two options kita. We can ikutin competitor kita and maybe get a little bit of attention, or we dare to be different and speak up, right? So which one would you advise to do?
Sekarang gini, kalau ini kan kita udah bicara strategi berarti kan. So there are ways of doing things in working with our brands gitu. Satu, kita bisa follow whatever is mainstream gitu. Jadi kita bagian atau jadi pengikut dari yang sudah ada, hoping bahwa those audience yang sudah apa ya menyukai brand yang mainstream itu setidaknya nengok ke kita lah karena kita sama gitu. That's one way. The second way is just be idealist. This is where we want to go.
Yeah. Is that worth it though, being idealistic?
Not really. Yang ketiga adalah create your own niche. Jadi produk boleh sama secara fungsional ya. Misalnya kita mau bicara sedikit bicara kopi lah gitu. Kopi banyak sekali yang menjual kopi gitu kan. Kopi yang enak itu harus wajib like it's standarnya kan, it's not a USP anymore. So how do you be different gitu, gimana kita ditengok. That's how secara strategi kita akan lebih prefer untuk mengambil satu target segment in between other target segments. So it's just it makes more sense.
So it's like move out the way,
exactly. We're in between.
Yeah.
Jadi ketika sekarang itu secara mainstream kan coffee chains are mostly kopi senja, monochromatic, poetic, mellow, galau dan lain sebagainya. We are actually taking a different way. We dare to be different. Justru mengembalikan si kopi ini kepada fungsi sejatinya, which is actually ketika kita minum kopi, jantung itu berdegup, bukan melambat gitu. So you actually become energetic dan bukan mellow.
That's so true.
Iya, emang. Mungkin kalau orang, mungkin banyak ya brand-brand yang lain, mellow itu karena kayak nyantai nih. Gue butuh kopi lagi di waktu santai, padahal enggak ya. Lo butuh kopi, a lot of people butuh itu ya. Kan pagi-pagi ya biasanya minum kopi gitu, seringannya kayak atau sore gue udah ngantuk nih, gue butuh kopi gitu loh. Itu yang untuk nge-jump start
to
gitu
wake us up gitu. Kalau sebelum nge-gym juga, kalau di gym biasanya kita disarankan sebelum nge-gym kita kopi dulu.
Gitu ya.
After, like before you run
itu minum kopi dulu.
Minum kopi. I mean, I don't.
Karena levelnya udah tinggi ya.
Levelnya udah tinggi. Tapi if I did, that's when I would do it. I would drink coffee then.
Ya. Nah, ini ngomongin to be different gitu loh. Ini kan balik lagi kan.
I want to hear her story of being different.
Nah, exactly. Kita tuh sehati sebenarnya, cuman ini aja rebutan ngomong. Nah, I want to hear your story juga gitu loh. Nah, how do you differentiate? Maksudnya gini, kayak tadi kan Grace cerita juga dari pindah-pindah ini segala juga gitu loh. As a leader gitu loh juga. Mungkin masuk ke setiap company lain, itu kan leader juga beda-beda. How you differentiate yourself juga nih as a leader gitu. Karena kan nggak mudah juga ya, kayak ya mau bagaimanapun stigma leader perempuan kayak begitu tuh juga masih ada lah ya, stigma-stigma seperti itu. So how do you present yourself as a leader gitu? How you differentiate yourself?
As a woman leader?
Yes, a woman leader.
Tidak bisa dipungkiri bahwa ini kan kita melihat hasilnya ya, bahwa saat ini gue ada di leadership team di sebuah company gitu. Tapi kan the ways to go there itu sebenarnya yang lebih banyak lika-likunya kan. So currently how I present myself as a woman leader lebih ke being objective sebenarnya, meaning tidak gini. I'm kind of hard on myself, jadi gue selalu bilang ke diri gue don't ask for privileges gitu. Buat gue itu adalah kunci kita bisa diperlakukan sama dengan male leaders gitu. Kalau misalnya kita udah become a female leader, tetapi kita asking for privileges as a female, don't expect them to look at us like at the same level. Itu sih. How do I present myself? Speak up. Memang itu sih kuncinya. Jadi ini juga bukan sesuatu yang didapat langsung kan ya. Meaning gue juga melalui proses-proses yang dimana dulu banget tuh mana berani gue ngomong, apalagi jadi anak baru gitu kan. But then again selalu belajar dari pengalaman. Kemarin kenapa sih kok gue kayaknya kurang didengar pendapatnya, atau gue kurang dianggap ada di ruang meeting itu. It started from that kind of process gitu. Oh, gue harusnya speak up gitu. I have ideas, why didn't I speak up? Kayaknya gak enak soalnya gue cewek sendiri misalnya dulu kayak gitu ya. These are the processes that I went through. Sampai sekarang akhirnya as a female leader, I say that first, whatever ideas you have, speak it up. In order to be confident to speak up, pastinya kita harus di backup dengan knowledge gitu. Kalau kita speak up tapi nggak ada isinya, jadi bumerang ke kita kan. Yang pertama sih kalau gue bilang harus punya isi, knowledge-nya harus cukup. Kita harus selangkah atau dua langkah di depan compared to male leaders. As I said before,
we have to be much more like knowledgeable, much more prepared, right?
Dan harus speak up, kayaknya you have to be loud juga gitu loh. You have to be, nggak bisa cuman. Kadang juga gitu ya, punya knowledge, tapi if you don't voice it out, people overlook juga. Gitu.
Betul. Ada juga yang terbalik.
Pokoknya gue banyak ngomong tapi kayak lo ngerti gak sih sebenarnya?
Atau enggak you say something, nobody heard you, and then next to you the man says the same exact thing.
Oh my God.
Yang didengar yang ini.
Yeah.
That's langsung pengen curhat. Rasanya gitu, happens a lot kayak gitu.
But when I'm in a scenario where there are other men, kadang-kadang tuh it's easier to just stay quiet karena you're like, what can I gain from speaking up? Kalau misalnya
for the sake of talking doang,
for the sake of talking doang, for the sake of being heard, or is there something that I can gain from this? Kayak sometimes I have those second thoughts. Itu satu. Yang kedua, there's a lot of insecurities as well, right? When you are dealing with different genders, especially if they have like a bro code, gitu, and we're not part of that bro language. Sometimes like, is it even relevant for us to speak up? Like, I'm feeling insecure. Will they judge me for what I say? Will they not agree with what I say? So at the end of the day, you decide, nggak usah deh, I'm just gonna stay down and it's not worth it. Tapi I want to ask you, sebenarnya speaking up, being brave enough gitu, whether it is in your personal or professional career gitu, what do you think? Is it worth it? What do people have to gain?
It is. Kalau buat gue, it is worth it for various kind of reasons. Yang pertama ya tentunya karena kan we want to contribute, itu satu. Yang kedua, tidak bisa gue pungkiri bahwa I do have this urge atau motivation to show that female can actually do as good as male leaders. And even better. Gue punya ego itu gitu, dan gue yakin karena perempuan-perempuan Indonesia itu sebenarnya kemampuannya tidak lebih rendah dari pria gitu. Like any skills you can learn. Gak ada yang like di kantor ya pria bisa, wanita enggak. No, it's just a matter, do you want to push yourself to be able to do those things gitu. Menurut gue sangat worth it. Ya, yang pertama mengenai kontribusi tadi. Yang kedua adalah mengenai showing that we have value. Tapi memang kuncinya dari kedua hal tadi adalah dari diri kita sendiri dulu sih kalau gue ya, bahwa gue harus yakin gue sudah dibekali cukup pengetahuan untuk bisa berkontribusi sesuatu, nggak asal ngomong gitu. Kalau misalnya gue nggak tahu, I would feel like ngapain gue ngomong cuma karena gue harus ngomong. I would feel like that gitu. Terus kalau misalnya gue nggak ngerti, ya mendingan gue nggak speak up, ntar malah yang ada balik ke gue lagi gitu. So I think menjawab pertanyaannya Mira tadi sih worth it, sangat worth it, karena dua hal tadi plus ya like it or not, it would make our performance gitu. Whether orang lihat kita performance-nya bagus atau jelek gitu kan.
Iya betul.
Tapi
go ahead.
Which one first? Sweet nih lama-lama.
I know.
Rebutan emang kalau mau nanya.
Okay, go.
Me first. Okay. Boleh. Nah, mau nanya, pernah nggak ada kejadian gitu ya, when you have to step up atau kayak you speak up, and then ternyata itu jadi bumerang dan ya itu ya apa namanya, jadi something negatif ya, atau I don't know whether your leadership atau mungkin sebelum menjadi leaders gitu, dan how do you overcome that?
I had a first-hand experience in terms of what you mentioned, the bro culture.
Bro culture ya.
Yes. Jadi ya gue gak mention di company yang mana lah ya. Definitely not Flash Coffee because I love this brand. Tapi gue pernah mengalami that bro culture. Jadi gue di dalam company di mana satu-satunya female di leadership team itu gue. Yang lainnya males. Kemudian they have like similarity kayak alumni universitas yang sama gitu kan, atau mereka mereferensikan one another. Jadi it's like I was alone against all the leadership team, all the male leadership team gitu. Gue seperti biasa mengungkapkan apa yang gue tahu kan. So whatever the discussion was, data yang gue punya, kemudian pendapat gue ungkapin. But then again, akhirnya mereka tidak menerima pendapat itu because they think differently gitu. Akhirnya berbalik ke gue, jadi nggak ada yang memihak gue, dan akhirnya mau nggak mau, because I know what I say is true and it is good for the company. Gue lumayan adu mulut juga sama.
Oh ya tuh berani. Karena itu yang dipertanyain ya, is it worth it gitu loh, tapi atau kayak ya udahlah.
Ya udah deh, just don't have.
Ngapain ya? It's not my battle, bukan kisah my battle, tapi kayak is it even worth it gitu loh, dengan kayak gitu. Ada hasilnya nggak?
Tapi kalau if I look back, I think it's worth it. Kenapa? Karena yang kayak gue bilang tadi, plus I'm like gue membenamkan diri terhadap company itu gitu. Jadi ketika gue di dalam suatu management, I'm a part of it. I have a high sense of belonging. Karena kan jelek bagusnya brand itu, ya gue kan di dalamnya kan, gue juga kena gitu. Jadi gue punya sense of belonging. Itu yang mendorong gue untuk tetap nge-push ke si country lead-nya bahwa we need to go this way because of this data and everything gitu. Walaupun akhirnya everybody was against me, gue cari jalan tengah gimana kalau we try this first in a small scale. If it does not work, we stop. Kalau it does work, we scale. Gitu kan, itu jalan tengah dong, nobody loses gitu. Jadi akhirnya kita coba eksperimen itu. Tapi memang ya itu kayak gue bilang tadi di awalnya, like no, we don't think that's the way we should go. Gitu. Baliknya ke gimana cara komunikasi kita untuk ketemu jalan tengah sih, in order to get what we want.
Communication is important, especially okay, kita mau speak up, tapi how are you gonna do it, right? You're not gonna scream up and demand the attention. You're going to attract the attention by the words you speak, by how you convey it, how you your body language, even how you pendekatannya gitu kan, and the data and the knowledge and the experience behind your decision to say something or another gitu. So if we want to speak up, make sure that when you say something it's meaningful juga kan.
Betul. Be knowledgeable. So I was wondering, like, have you seen an evolution? You've been in the career for a while, right? You had a longevity gitu. Have you seen kind of like a trend with women speaking up in the workforce gitu? Kayak maybe
ada perubahan nggak sih dulu?
Dan
sekarang.
Dan now you've said that before you were the only woman on the table gitu as leaders. Sekarang are more women speaking up, atau is this still a problem gitu?
Gue harus bicara ini dari dua sisi sih. Satu sisi dari kita sebagai female employees or leader, kedua dari sisi manajemen juga gitu. Jadi gue mencoba melihatnya secara fair. Yes, sekarang lebih banyak female leaders dibanding dulu. That's for sure. Kalau dulu mungkin kita untuk bisa dipromote aja, it's very hard gitu. Udah lo di sini aja udah bagus, that's why you stay there gitu kan. Loh, kok alasannya gitu? Kalau sekarang ya lebih banyak, tetapi memang belum like 50-50. Masih sedikit. Nah, kenapa begitu? Gue juga melihat dari sisi manajemen. Even if seperti a lot of companies, including Flash Coffee gitu kan, we are a very inclusive type of management, type of hiring. Jadi terbuka untuk pria dan wanita untuk semua posisi gitu. And I think a lot of companies are like that as well. But at the end of the day, it's not about quota. At the end of the day, it's about quality.
Yes, benar.
Gitu. Iya kan. Jadi kita juga nggak bisa memenuhi kuantitas female leader harus 50%.
Sayangnya itu ya.
Betul, karena there is a drop off juga gitu. Like we're seeing that more and more, like in the bridge, that mid management banyak yang drop off kan.
Betul.
So okay, I mean I've learned a lot for sure from your background and everything. Any last words for the young woman that wants to speak up? Any last words for us that that we want to speak up more, but maybe we are hindered by our own insecurities or the situation gitu.
Karena tuh masih banyak yang kayak begitu. Even udah you reach a certain level aja, sometimes ada tuh ketahan, that insecurities that kayak can we do it, can bisa atau enggak, itu masih ada gitu. Do you have any
Sebenarnya agak klise ya. Yang pertama adalah fondasinya, disclaimer, you gotta be knowledgeable first. Itu udah modal dasarnya. Now after you're knowledgeable, that's your decision whether you want to speak up or not. Nah kalau gue akan menyarankan speak up. Why? I think the message is you have to value yourself and you have to be comfortable with yourself. If you have something on your mind and you know that's good for a lot of people, not only for you, I think you have the obligation to convey it. So it's not about whether you want or not. You have the responsibility to convey it because you know what is correct or what is right.
I love that actually, because then it takes the pressure off that it's an ego thing that we want to be heard. Enggak, we have to be heard almost. It's a responsibility.
Okay, ini kayaknya.
I mean, I can go on for days, and after this, I'm gonna actually ask her.
Kita private session.
Enggak, Stellar Women Academy.
Oh iya, ini lanjut. Ini kita ada Stellar Women Academy yang akan dissect jauh lebih dalam kali yang ngomongin
about the strategy of branding, marketing, and I mean, you've had a ton of experience.
Iya, ini harus
yeah,
banget.
I feel like a
Ikut.
lot of people find marketing sexy and everything, but it's a lot of formulaic, data-driven decisions, right? And I would love for you to share that. But anyways, that's a different day.
Iya, itu ada undangan lainnya.
Yeah.
Nanti tunggu
Siap.
undangannya lagi.
Thanks.
Oke,
Siap.
thank you banget Grace. Pokoknya jangan lupa untuk para MTFers untuk follow IG-nya Stellar
Stellarwomen.id.
dan juga Instagramnya L'Oreal di Get The Look ID. Jangan lupa follow Grace. Grace apa Instagramnya? Kalau dia mau nanya langsung ke Grace?
Grace Surya.
Grace.
And also Flash Coffee.
Oh yes, Flash Coffee.
Yes.
Yes, please.
yes, Flash Coffee. The coffee that'll bring you alive, right?
Correct.
Dare to be
Dare
different.
to speak up.
Dare to
Dare to
speak
speak
up. Okay, thank you all and see you on our next chat.
Bye.
Thank you guys.